Hello everybody, this is Swaverly, and welcome back to Satisfactory. In the off time I took a chance to decorate our engine factory, well, our motor factory. I keep calling them engines. And I was kind of going for a more brutalist look, so I'm pretty much almost finished up with that design. I just need to finish off the bottom areas down there. But in the entire time I've been running this plant, back at our home base here, our small computer setup has been running this entire time. So let's see how many of these bad boys we've been stacking up in the time being. Ooh, goody! I think I have plenty of items I need to build the fuel power plant. I should say build the other 2 fuel power plants, since I've already got one of the 3 systems set up and done. So that's what this video is going to be about today, is setting up the rest of the fuel plants and starting to work on an actual large-scale computer factory. Hey Lego, have you found me anything? No. So before that, let's give like a miniature tour of this factory, even though I haven't completely decorated it yet. So up here we have the entrance, which I kind of modeled after one of the buildings that I went to in college. This kind of looks like the entryway of our architecture building. We had a bunch of slatted windows, and we also had a big overhang over top here with a big oculus shining through, which is basically just a hole in the ceiling that lets the sun shine through. So I might incorporate that into it later. I've also got all these concrete columns. There's just something about just large concrete structures that just look so neat, so tidy, and then just having all the exposed machinery flying about is so cool. I even painted exit ways down on the floor, started setting up lights because it gets dark in here. But yeah, this just keeps going down through the floors. You can see down in through here. I need to add more lighting down in this area, probably adjust these so that the lights shine more horizontally. I was trying to go for different designs on this as well, so instead of having like just a big solid wall here, I figured why not have this pass through all these conveyor walls and have these act as supports, along with this one, which you can angle pillars and supports based off of themselves. So for instance, if I wanted to do that and I hold control, I can rotate this in place so I could get like a horizontal one. And if I wanted to do it at another angle, do it like that, and then you can zoop them up however much you want to zoop them. I also tried hiding the belts that were kind of out on their own on the roof by just extending the blocks out a little bit to give this more of a blocky feel. I know I'm repeating myself by saying the word blocky, but that's pretty much the word that you would use to describe brutalism, is just blocky. This section here, it looks completely unnecessary, just this big block coming out here. Whoop. Oh, that's the lighting. I was like, why is that sticking through? I might need to cover that up with another block. Or I could do a half block. Just add a little bit more randomness to the brutalism. You know what? Yeah, that sounds like a good idea. Do something like this. It's completely random, but it kind of hides some of the trickery that goes on in the background. Actually, I'm going to redo this because I do not want to see the light coming through. So actually, let's just do a half slab foundation. But it kind of throws off these ones, which I know are housing belts inside of them. Oh man, I don't like how this wall looks here, but I have to hide what's behind here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go into my build menu, go to the architecture tab, and click on a road barrier. And then I could split that here and set you on this side as well. What this allows me to do is actually snap onto the end of the road barrier instead of in the middle of a foundation, which walls automatically will snap to. They only snap to the middle of the foundation and to the edge of foundations. But with the road barrier, it allows you to snap it to the edge of the road barrier, allowing you to put half walls in when necessary. So let's get rid of this middle wall so it removes a little bit more of that clipping and get rid of these guys. Yeah, with road barriers, you can set up some pretty complex designs with your buildings. Like, for instance, this conveyor wall I was telling you about. This wouldn't be possible without the road barriers, because as you can see, I have them at half slab intervals. But enough about this building. Let's actually get to what we need to do with the fuel generators. I kind of honestly forget how many of them I need for each section, so let's just grab as many computers as we can and bring them over to where our fuel plant setup is going to be. Alright, so I tallied up all the fuel generators and refineries that I need, and I brought over pretty much all the parts that I will need just for the buildings themselves. The next thing I'm going to have to do, which is a big part of this project, is to destroy pretty much everything that's here, which means the rubber and plastic that's getting transported back to the plant is no longer going to be made, as well as the fuel for most of our transportation systems. But I feel like we've got a bunch of that backed up to where we don't really need to worry about that for a bit. So yeah, we need to start tearing this stuff down. And getting rid of the stuff is so easy. It's just one click, and just like that, it is all gone. So beautiful looking now that all the random junk's out of the way. So now all I have to do is do this 3 more times. Probably in that direction. I'm going to have to do something weird about this one that's already in the middle of my build, but I've got another node there, and that one there, and it is, I think there's a 4th one, I'm not sure. Let me check. No, there's only 3, okay. Right? Oh no, there's 3 more. There's that one, that one. It looks like there's one on that island over there too. But for the time being, I'm not gonna go through all the logistics behind this. I'm just basically gonna copy this system 2 more times. Maybe even 3, we'll see what our power situation looks like after I'm done with that. So this is just gonna be another cut because all the math's already figured out for the one system. I just need to do it 2 more times. All right, we got our fuel plant finally set up. It was basically the same system, just 2 more times. This middle system is actually 2 fuel generators shy of the other ones, and that's just because this oil well here in the middle would have been colliding with the other generators. And so what I'm doing is I'm using the excess fuel that the other 2 generators would have been consuming, and I am sending it over to be packaged fuel. And I'm getting the containers just from this one little system here. I'm using a little bit of polymer resin and dumping it down into a constructor to make the plastic. Oh, no, the plastic's coming out of this thing. The polymer resin is being fed into the refinery, and the plastic's coming out all the way over here and becoming the containers. And I'm having these fuel canisters split up to either be sunk, stored, or going to truck stops, which I have repathed all my truck stops and everything. So my Fix-It-Factory cart is currently following this path, going along this little sea bridge that I built. And it's kind of cute too. I have the Fix-It-Factory cart actually going inside throughout my factory to get to where it needs to go. This truck station is taking what I was used to making at the original fuel plant, which was the rubber and plastic that I was needing for the temporary computer setup. So eventually I'm going to put this system on to the other side here. I've already got it somewhat set up. I'm just sinking the polymer resin and not making plastic or rubber at the moment, just because I need to save up some more parts in order to build the refineries. But overall, I'm pretty happy with this. Let's look at how our power situation is now. Looking so much better on power. Also, I've been playing around with the blueprints machine, and I come across something that's kind of interesting. I didn't know you could do this before, but if you place a roof power cable on like some type of support, you can make your own like little mini zipline system throughout your bases, like so. Let me connect all this up. But yeah, this doesn't work on the regular power poles because you actually run into the pole, so you have to make inverted lines in order to use the zip line. But yeah, I figured that out recently, which is kind of nice. Okay, so for the computer recipe, I do not want to do the vanilla recipe, which is, hang on a second. Yeah, I don't want to be doing the vanilla recipe, which takes circuit boards, cable, plastic, and screws. I kind of want to take screws out of the equation because I really don't want to mess with them. So I think I'm going to be using what I'm doing now at base, which is the Caterium computer recipe, which only uses circuit boards, Caterium, and rubber in order to make them. And for the circuit boards, it's just plastic and copper. So I'm already making 2 of these, like off in that direction at my oil plant. And I also have Caterium kind of right around in that area. I just need to see if there are any copper nodes that are out in that direction. Because if there is a copper node in this area, or a couple at least, I can stop trucking the Caterium wire and the oil products back to base. I can kind of consolidate them here in the middle, probably on this set of islands. So, is there any copper? Oh, wait. Ooh, that's actually kind of near my Caterium plant. There's 2 of them kind of around there. This actually might work out. So, let's go to our handy-dandy Satisfactory calculator. I'm searching for power slugs. Oh wait, the dogs can sometimes find them. Do you have one? You do! Yes! Good job, doggo. Good job, Lego. I don't have to go searching around forever. Options. Can I do... Ooh, I can even do the alternate recipe. Okay. So, I was doing a bunch of that math wrong. Still under 730. Beautiful. Then oil 450 per minute. I'm already making oil. No, I'm not making oil. Let's see here. So for plastic and rubber, I need 300 rubber and 700 plastic. I am not making nearly that enough. Luckily, I have an untapped oil node out by my fuel plant. So yay! I can make a bunch of the plastic and stuff from that and hopefully can combine it with what's at my factory. Let's actually do a little bit of math here from the factory itself. Alright, so we're actually limited on the plastic. Actually, we're just limited on the oil because I only have 1 more node around me. It's a pure node, so I can do 300 out of that. I can only be making 5 computers a minute. And that means I only need to use 1 of those copper nodes, and we're mining plenty of Caterium. Actually, before I put my foot in my mouth later on down the road, let's actually make sure we're making enough Caterium. How much are you extracting, big boy? 120? Perfect. I am going to be underutilizing this Caterium node. Of course, I could just do like a big wire factory, fully overclock this to 480, and then take off what I need for the plant. That actually might sound like a good idea. Why are you... Oh, is there not a belt to go in here? Alright, I reworked the Caterium plant over a bit. I can only take 300 Caterium out of this system at a time. So the smelters are taking care of that. Pumping out the Caterium. I think it is 300 per minute, if I'm not mistaken. So 10, 15 times 5, so 100. So that 100 goes into all these lines, and I kind of reworked the system because I only need 140 quick wire for the computers, and that's going to just take up these 3 machines here. 2 of these are running at 100. This one's running at 33.3, so I can get my 140. And then the rest of the machines, I'm just going to pump back to base. Because the system was actually making 490 quick wire per minute, which is 10 more than my belts needed. That Mark III belt is going to be heading all... I could truck it, but maybe I could get a nice little looking belt highway along the fuel car access road. So I think I've come up with a nice little solution for the Caterium to get over to where I'm going to put my computer plant. I used my zipline blueprint and I put a little light pole inside of it. And let me just show you here real quick. I used the conveyor wall mounts to put them onto the brackets, and I extended them down to the floor just so they do not interfere with my little fix-it factory cart heading over to here. There's not much else to tell about this area, so let us go over to where I'm going to set up the computer plant, and it's just a nice little zip line away. Whee! And the computer factory, it doesn't really take up a whole lot of room. This is literally all the machines that I need to have to build the Caterium computers. The bigger area is going to need to be over near where my oil node is to make the plastic and the rubber. But the downside of that is that it's going to have 130 oil, heavy oil residue left over, which I can then turn into fuel and power another 8 fuel power plants, which is really nice to give me that extra boost of power. So in order to make computers, I am also producing more power than I'm already generating. So let's go ahead and build that right now. All right, so let us see here. So it's 210 oil for one of these. That 210 goes into the 7 that's over here, and then I need to get 90 oil to go into these. And I'm curious, how am I going to split off 90 from... Oh, I guess I could use a valve. I've never actually used a valve before, so I'm kind of curious as to how this works. I need steel beams. So set you here. Can I... Yes, I can limit the value. I only want 90 per minute going that direction. And then the rest can go that way, which I do not need a valve for. Alright, so now I need to set all these up to the correct recipes. And what I'm going to do for the computers is I'm actually just going from oil to the heavy residue and rubber. So the rubber is going to go towards making the actual computer part, which I believe... So these 3 are set up for rubber. These last 7 are going to be set up for plastic. I'm doing these because these do not produce the blue residue that comes from the turning just straight oil into fuel and then turned into plastic and rubber. It works fine for me. Just it's fine. Everything's fine. And then these will be able to run 8 fuel generators, which is awesome. Get a little bit extra fuel out of it. Oh, hi. I didn't realize you were here. Not for much longer, you're not. Oh, you brought a friend? You brought 2 friends. Bye! Alright, now we got all of our refineries hooked up and the extra fuel plants. We got the refineries over there turning the heavy oil residue into fuel. I actually started belting all of the plastic and rubber over to where we are going to build the computers. I'm hoping everything is belted correctly, but that's what the awesome sinks are for down at the computer plant. So let us follow these lines, which pretty much just go over top of everything in the plant. I'm so happy I came up with this zip line idea for the belts to go alongside of this. It just adds a little extra depth to this cart highway. Also, I found out that I had a copper node closer to the computer plant that I actually had a miner inside of, but I wasn't actually using. So I just went ahead and snapped that up, and I've got my copper running into the plant, which I forgot to put the smelters in to turn it into iron ingots, so I just went ahead and did that. Alright, power's hooked up. Let's start doing the belt work, which is pretty straightforward. Alright, that's taken care of. So I'm having the copper go over that way to the smelters, up and around and up through there. I'm going to bring in the plastic, bring it up over through the assemblers that direction. The rubber is going to be coming directly up here to these things, so it's actually... Okay, so I got the machines hooked up. I just need to plug in the materials and hope it works. I don't know why I was splitting these at 70%. I must have gotten the manufacturer number wrong, but I had to underclock these even further to 66.6 repeating, basically, so 66 2/3. So I just got to start plugging these materials in. And the first thing we're going to do is the iron ore. Now I got to make a sink down here because I plugged it in the wrong flipping side. Alright, why aren't we moving? Oh. This isn't copper. My bad. I made a goof. I thought that the iron node was a copper node. Well, I'm off on a copper hunt. Alright, I fixed the copper problem. I just went into the wrong node in this location like a dummy. I just gotta plug in the power back now. And with this, copper is back on the menu. Alright, that's going in there. The rubber is going to be doing this thing over here, so get rid of you. Alright, computers are being made. Yeah, those are going, that's going. Rubber is moving and grooving. And for the final touch, just a little bit of decorating. You think, like, all that work with the deuterium, the copper, Autosave. The refinery's over there making 8 more power plants work just for this little box to make, I think it's 2.5 computers a minute. Or, no, I think it's 5 per minute. Oh, I didn't even hook up the output. But anyway, I think I'm going to leave this video here as soon as I hook up this output and see our computers roaming just there for now. I'll fix it later. I want to get the video done. I'll make it look pretty in a later date. So don't you worry your pretty little heads. So anyway, I think we're done with the video. I got what I wanted to get done accomplished. It's been days just because I've been busy with work and all this other good stuff. So hopefully I can get the next video out quickly. I have no idea what I want to do for it. Maybe I can unlock the next hub milestone. We'll see. So, anyway, thank you guys so much for watching. My name is Swaverly. If you like what you saw, set that like button free, right, Marley? You want to set that like button free? Huh? You want to set it free? Oh, yeah, you set it free. Oh. And anyway, I will see you and all of your beautiful faces in the next video. So, laters.